This video is on simplifying powers of I, and I'm going to show you how to use the calculator to do that. So first thing, whether you use your calculator or not, it's important that you should know some key things about i's. For example, I to the 0 is 1 because anything to the 0 power is 1. 6 to the 0, 712 to the 0, it doesn't matter. Anything to the 0 power is 1. I to the first is I because anything to the first power is itself. Negative 2 to the first is negative 2. 12 to the first is 12. But here's the key thing. I squared is going to be negative 1. And the other one that's going to be very helpful is I cubed is negative I. I'm going to show you how to use your calculator to do this, but just in case you forget, those are two good things to use all the time. So first, I'm going to show you in the home screen as I have up, you can do I squared. So second decimal point gives you the I, and then I'm going to raise it to the second power. And there's our negative 1 as I just said. Same thing with I cubed. Second I to the third power gives me negative I. You can always use your calculator for this, but it just makes it quicker sometimes when you memorize I squared is negative 1, I cubed is negative I. So let's take a look at something like this. I to the 47th. Now, you would think I could just go right to my calculator and put in I to the 47th. So let's try it. I to the 47th. And I get this crazy looking answer. That's because the calculator can't do I to the 47th in the home screen, but it can do it if you use what we call iPart. So you're going to go to Math, go over to the right to Number, and if you scroll down, you see choice 3 says iPart. So once I have iPart selected, I can now do I to the 47th, and I get negative I. So I to the 47th is negative I. Let's try one more, I to the 58th. So if I go back to my calculator, I'm going to go back to Math, go to the right, choose number 3, which is iPart. I'm going to put in I to the 58th, and I get negative 1. So let's take a look at something that would be a little bit more involved. I to the 0 times I to the first times I to the second times I to the third times I to the fourth. If you remember your laws of exponents, we know that when we multiply, I add my exponents. So I can add up all of those exponents, 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. And when I do that, I'm going to get I to the 10th. And now I can go back to my calculator, Math, go to the right, choice 3, I to the 10th power, and I get negative 1. Now let's take a look at the second one that I have here. I to the 13th plus I to the 18th plus I to the 31st plus n equals 0. And in this case, we want to solve for n. So unlike the one above, I can't shorten this or simplify it because there's no rules about adding I to the 13th and I to the 18th. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use iPart 3 separate times. So first I'm going to do Math, go to the right, choice 3 for iPart, and I'm going to do I to the 13th. So my first piece is I. And then I'm going to go back to my calculator and do the same thing again. This time putting in I to the 18th. And I get negative 1. And I have one more to go, I to the 31st. So back to the calculator again. And we get negative I. So when you have all these separate pieces with powers of I, you have to put each piece in separately to iPart. And now I just need to do a little bit of solving or combining like terms. I minus I is going to cancel out, so I'm left with negative 1 plus n equals 0. So if I add 1 to both sides, I'm going to get n equals 1. So remember, simplifying powers of I become very easy in our calculator. Math, go to the right, choose choice 3, I part.